It's just gonna be like it was like a dream the whole time.
All right, so we are live on a lot of places, but not everywhere.
So you're twitching now?
Yeah, I started twitching. I'm on Twitch, and on the Twitch channel for a whole week. I haven't figured out exactly how to make it all work, but I think it's something I'd like to. I'm thinking about doing like once a week, like getting on and talking about a movie or something. So
Yeah, I've been meaning to do. Yeah, I've been meaning to do the same thing. Just like break down videos or make fun of stuff like Beavis and Butthead or something.
Yeah, that's something to do. Like, would be hard to do. It's just making the time to do it. It's all it is. So,
where does the time go, Dave? Where does the time go?
It's there. We just don't. I don't take advantage of it. I just get it.
I mean, it's one of those things. It's one of those things where, sure, you could make more time, but you play things as they come.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't. Sometimes there's days when you don't feel like making more time.
Well, it's kind of like
take care of your mental health,
Yeah, yeah. And I've been doing it pretty solidly for the last 2 years. You're actually longer, probably now, but yeah. I was talking to Ben St. John the other night on the stream. It's about how next year I'm thinking either I'm really going to commit to a creative endeavor or like just get into crypto. Then you can put all of that time and energy into something that would make a bunch of money. But then I would be one of those guys. Yeah. But I'd also be one of those guys with a bunch of money. So maybe.
Well, yeah, and you can always cash out. Like, I mean, like for me, if I was to do that, I would cash out like at like 50,000. I wouldn't even.
Right.
I would just be like, I've made it. Yeah. I'm rich. I made $50,000.
Yeah, I made a year's salary.
I never need to work I never need to work a day again in my life.
But hey, everybody!
Hey, we're live.
We are live here on. It's the final night of the 12 Days of Catsmas. We're gonna be covering German Cats on Ice with Johnny Sparkles, and we're raising money for the Hawaii SPCA. So there's a link in the description and in the chat. Go ahead and click that and donate to the Hawaii SPCA. They're doing a lot of good things for animals. I wanted to bring up the fact that I've known about SPCAs like my whole life, I think, but I don't know what SPCA stands for. Do you have any idea off the top of your head, Johnny?
The S, I think the S stands for Sarah McLachlan. Because they play her song in the commercial, so I'm guessing that for Sarah McLachlan. The P stands for please play us something other than Sarah McLachlan.
Yeah,
that's what the pets are yelling at you.
I think that's what they listen to all day. That's all that they play in their cages all night.
Yeah, that's why they're sad. That's all they have is Sarah McLachlan. And one of the dogs is like, please play me some Depeche Mode. Like, somebody play Depeche Mode. Just one Depeche Mode song. That's all I ask.
Yeah, it's Christmas.
Yeah. Depeche Mode's Christmas album. Oh, so good. So good.
Yeah, I would listen to that. Yeah, so we're talking German Cats on Ice that we found. I want to preface this whole thing with someone on YouTube by the name of, I think, Katie Johnson, put together a playlist of YouTube videos that had cats, like full productions of cats. On the 188 videos, she just updated it like 3 days ago or something. So it's a growing list. She's still working on it, but it's making it easy for people like us that want to watch a lot of different versions of cats. And one of those was German Cats. What are you saying?
So you're saying there might be a part 2 next year?
There's enough. Well, we could do this for a few years in a row. Right? Why not? Yeah.
I think you should wait like 3 years and then just do a whole year straight. We'll just be on Twitch for a year. That's what we'll do for a year. We'll get sponsorships. We'll just live on Twitch for a year. And,
I'll just get the cat whiskers just tattooed on my face like those ladies that do with their makeup, just to make it easier. I have to make my wife do it every night.
Yeah.
So have you watched Cats before? It's your first Cats
Uh,
experience?
I know what's funny as well. That's actually ask me if I watched this. Ask me if I watched this video.
Have you seen Cats on Ice? This video? Did you watch this one?
I didn't watch it, Dave. I experienced it. All right. Um, while I was experiencing it, I had like flashbacks to. I don't know if they ever had it here, but I might have seen Cats on Ice before
Wow.
because I got some weird little flashbacks. But
Right.
I know I saw something on Ice, and I can't remember if it was Cats, but
That's
there
cool.
was a couple parts that looked very familiar, like eerily familiar. So I don't know.
Oh, maybe you've just seen people ice skating, like doing figure skating, because that's kind of what this was. Because I didn't really watch it before I set this to you for us to watch. I just kind of clicked through it just to make sure that it was actually like cat stuff. But yeah, it's just people figure skating to Cats songs from Cats in German. And like from the description on the video, it turns out this was a school, a figure skating school. So it's all like kids and teenagers and stuff. And yeah, it's only 49 minutes. So it's like half the length, less than half the length of a full Cats show. So it's interesting. And like it was all recorded music, so nobody was singing or anything.
You know, as much as I love I actually like long movies.
Right.
I think more people would like musicals if they were all 49 minutes.
Yeah. If instead of having an intermission, it was
like,
just over, that would be great.
Yeah, it went by so fast. Was this? I know this is a German production, but was this
Right.
filmed at Ice Palace?
It could have been.
Filmed at Ice Palace.
Yeah.
Pretty low budget. Not a very
Yeah.
fancy venue.
Wasn't much of a set. There was just a couple of boxes with some cat eyes on there.
The
Zamboni was still on. They didn't have more to park it.
Saw a couple union guys walking by smoking cigarettes.
Yeah. Yeah. There was no like backstage area or anything. So anybody that wasn't actively skating during a number was just standing in the background. You could just see them just like standing and like talking and moving it around. So it's hard to tell sometimes.
Yeah. It's like a hockey team waiting to play on the side.
Yeah, they're warming up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess you could say watching this brought back memories. Yeah, I would recommend people watch this though because
yeah, it's a short watch, 49 minutes,
and it's weird, like it's fun weird. it's just yeah, it's one of those things where it definitely didn't need to happen, but right. I'm glad it did.
Yeah, so I think watching it, like it feels like the most weirdly easy to understand version of Cats in that it's just people they go out and they're gonna skate around to a song, and the song is from Cats, and that's all it is. Whereas everything else, there's a little bit more, but not much more. So you try to find some kind of meaning in the show, instead of it just being loose songs about cats. And that's really all it is, even in the best cases. So this way, this is kind of, you're not trying to find anything. You're just in the moment of watching people, ice skate and hearing the songs. That's all it is. And like that seems like a pure an art form then. Like what they did with the movie, where they tried to give it a plot and stuff, and it just made it worse.
I mean, it was already like, as far as I can tell from what I've heard over the years, it seems to be one of the most hated musicals of all time. Like,
it's strangely the most
hated musicals.
It's the most hated musical, and also the most successful musical that ran the longest on Broadway and made the most money of any musical of all time. But yet nobody seems to like it. Nobody will admit to liking it.
You know what's funny is my first memory of Cats is actually, I don't know if you remember the old SNL commercial where it was like a hypnotist, and it was like a hypnotist on Broadway, and like everybody that came out of there was like, I loved it. It was much better than Cats.
That's right.
So my first memory is somebody saying, I loved it. It's much better than Cats, but I hadn't seen Cats yet. I
Right.
just remember the commercials when I was a kid. There was like commercials for Cats on Broadway. But yeah, I always remember that sketch where they're like, I loved it. It was much better than Cats.
Yeah, it's like yeah, I do remember as a kid seeing a lot of that kind of stuff, and then also just like the people in the costumes, like they don't look like cat. They look kind of like Thundercats, but like if you see them aside from the pack, yeah, they act like cats a lot. But aside from that, like just looking at the costumes itself and the makeup, you ask me what animal that's supposed to be, like cat would be like the my fourth or fifth answer. So
Like,
far.
are you talking about this production in particular? Because
I think it's the
I
Broadway
couldn't
ones
even.
that used to see on TV all the time. Yeah.
Well, yeah, even that's the thing that's weird is even on Broadway where they like had money and stuff, it still looks like a very low budget somehow.
Yeah.
But this one, like I think you were kind of mentioning it earlier, like they looked like they were just wearing clothes, like
Yeah.
regular clothes and skating. Yeah.
Yeah. They were just skating. Like I said, it was just there's a bunch of kids skating around because they're from their ice skating school. Yeah, there wasn't much. There's only a couple of people in any kind of costume. A lot of them they were just wearing all black. And counting that, and then put the cat ears on, and then hey, I'm a black cat. And there's really only kind of one black cat in the show, which was interesting that they had someone dressed as Mr. Mistopheles, but he only they didn't do the Mr. Mistopheles song. They did the Cavity song, and he skated to that. So that was weird. Oh, and a fun choice. I something tells me that everyone involved kind of just picked their own costume and just went as whatever
Yeah.
cat they wanted to.
They're like just kind of dressed like a cat. I mean, don't
Yeah.
worry about it too much. Don't stress about it. If you can't find anything, just put like some black tights on.
Yeah. We'll have cat ears for
enough.
everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
I have a couple. I have a couple production notes real quick, David.
yeah.
Lighting, top notch. Lighting. This state of the art.
Yeah.
And
yeah, not a real theater, just an ice skating rink.
Well, sure, but top notch lighting. Let's not show too many close-ups.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe like 7 in the course of an hour.
Yeah. Just save them all for
like
the last song. Yeah.
three or 4 seconds. Not too many close-ups. I don't need to.
That raises questions.
I don't need to see who has the spotlight on them right now.
Yeah.
I see everybody. I need to
I've
see
seen
all.
a couple.
I need to see what all 43 people in the cast are doing right now.
You see in a few different productions where like you can tell it's just a recording of somebody, like they set up a tripod or something in the back, get one of the tech people or whatever, and this is just so that hey, we can watch this back later on or whatever. It's not like a thing that we're going to be sharing with anybody. And so
yeah,
it's just one big wide shot that doesn't move for the whole show, which is what this felt like until like the last song was like, oh, we're going to throw in 5 close-ups just randomly. Like,
and the
someone else had a camera.
Like, the close-ups were decent shots too.
Yeah.
So I'm like, why didn't they just show that? Because I mean,
should have worked that in.
Pretty decent production. Yeah. There was a weird, when they were singing Jellicle Cats at the beginning, like the German version. At one point, it sounds like they're saying Jellicle Skeet. Jellicle Skeet. Very, very distracting. Jellicle Skeet. Jellicle Skeet. Jellicle Skeet. Like, you can't say that.
Yeah.
I think like if they brought a foreign cats to America, people might enjoy it more.
I think so.
Like just because you don't really know what's going on, so you focus more on like the art of the movements and everything.
Right.
It's like you don't even know what they're singing about, so you're like you're kind of like focused more on. Like I think this is about cats. This one seems to be about Jellicle Cats.
Yeah.
Here's one of 17 renditions of Memory.
Yeah, it's good. I was thinking, like, when I do listen to the foreign language ones, you do focus more on just what's happening on stage as opposed to the lyrics of the songs. And also, when you're listening to the songs, even in English, you don't really like a lot of words just kind of get lost because they're either gibberish words or you don't really apply to anything that's happening on stage. Yeah.
Like, does anybody even know what a Jellicle Cat is? figure it out.
All cats are Jellicle
Like,
cats. Found a
there you
snippet
go.
of an interview with Andrew Lloyd Webber where they were asking him that, and he was saying it like, oh, this is something everyone should know. Of course, all cats are Jellicle cats. All dogs are follicle dogs. In that weird way that like kids do and grown assholes, where it's like I know the definition of this secret thing that I've come up with, and I'm gonna very smugly know about it, and you don't. And I'm gonna answer very coyly. But basically, Jellicle cats
Like a
are
cat.
all cats are Jellicle cats because it's a weird way that T.S. Eliot came up with of saying dear little cats. Jellicle cats are dear little cats, and pollicle dogs or poor little dogs became pollicle dogs.
It's so pretentious. You'd think they
Yeah.
would go with felines. But is Andrew Lloyd Webber the one that Paula Tompkins plays sometimes?
Yeah,
Have you ever
yeah.
heard- yeah. And then I wanted to call it Jellicle cat. All cats are Jellicle.
I'm gonna make a supercut of that of him talking about cats. It's gotta be out there.
By the way, like, did they say? Because at first I thought it was like a mix of adults and children. Did they say
Right.
what age? Like the age. Did it say how
No,
old they were?
I couldn't find that, but I don't speak German. I figure it was probably like teenagers. The ones that looked more grown were probably teenage, like high school age. Is my guess. Like I said, it's hard to tell because all in one big light shot most of the time. But there's definitely very small children, and then I assume teenagers. It's probably where it caps out age-wise in the show, I think.
Did any of the other productions you watched in this marathon of yours? Did they have kids at all? Any
Yeah, there
kids?
was a middle school one, and then there was another one where they had like a little chorus of kids come in for one song. I can't remember what that was.
Okay, I've got another idea, babe.
Okay.
I've got another idea. An all kids version of Cats called
Oh yeah.
Kittens. Why hasn't that been done?
Yeah. I feel like that was a
It
joke
writes itself.
on
Oh,
The
really?
Critic.
Love it.
That's how you know it's a good joke, because if the critic did it must be good.
Yeah, I'm like the critic. I'm like
Yeah.
I'm the John Lovitz of. I know he didn't. I don't think he wrote it. Giving him too much credit.
Yeah.
There's a writer out there.
That's a show that isn't
You
good
know,
enough.
have you ever heard the song? I'm sorry, what was that?
I was saying that's enough. That's the song that a show that doesn't get enough. Nobody talks about the critic enough, I think.
Oh yeah, there was a lot of that was kind of groundbreaking in a way. Like
Yeah.
there was a lot of style, like a lot of comedy styling that I feel was ripped off, like timing and cutaways was ripped off from that show for sure. Have you ever heard the Survivor song "The Search Is Over"? It was in a movie, I think it was in a movie, some kind of. It might have even been in one of the Rocky movies. I'm not sure. In the '80s, it's a very ballady. Because the first solo song in this, sounded a lot like the faith I had in you. I was living for a dream, searching for a moment. The search is over. You were with me all the while. I was wondering if the guy because the guy from Survivor, I could see him writing musicals. Because he did those Real American Heroes.
Oh yeah.
He was like the vocalist on those.
Nice. Funny thing about those is they had to change it after 9/11 to
right.
Real Men of Genius. They didn't want to call them heroes anymore because the only heroes are the firefighters.
Right. And nobody else can be a hero. It was so funny hearing every once in a while. I would say like after 2 or 3 years, hearing sports announcers almost say hero about somebody or heroic, and then they'd be like, just like stumbling over, like worried way too much. Like,
yeah.
Like it's okay if you accidentally say it every now and then. Just don't get carried away.
Yeah.
It makes it look worse when you put a spotlight on you, like how much you're trying not to say it. It makes it
Yeah.
much worse. You remember any movies that were postponed because of 9/11 or albums or anything? Because I have a favorite movie that was postponed because of 9/11.
Yeah, I know that POD was dropping an album on 9/11 because I had gotten a sticker of theirs for free that said that. And so I put that on a notebook, and then under that I put another sticker that said, I don't like POD. But I thought it was very funny. I had their sticker, and it said, yeah, 9/11 2001 is when that album was dropping. And then 9/11 happened. I think I kept the sticker. Yeah.
The 9/11 events postponed their album. I do admit I really liked them for like 5 minutes. I mean, it was like catchy. It wasn't like I knew I wasn't gonna buy the album or anything, but I was like, this is pretty cool. I think when I realized how much they love Jesus, I was a little bit turned off. It's like Jesus rocks, y'all.
No.
They are the youth of the nation. They are. They are also famous for doing Rey Mysterio's ring music.
No.
Yeah, 619.
You had a movie that got delayed because of 9/11?
There was a few of them, but the one I really liked was called Big Trouble, which is a complete mess, but it's really fun. It's one of those movies that has everybody you like in it.
Right, yeah. I remember seeing that.
I like that. It has like Randy Richter, Janine Garofalo, Tim Allen, Great American, Tim Allen.
Someone say an American hero.
Dennis, right? A real American hero.
Yeah, I like that movie.
Dennis Farina, Jason. Yeah, because they had a bomb. They had a plane scene with a bomb on a plane. So it didn't come out till maybe spring of the next year or something. By then, it had lost all steam and bombs in the theaters. Bombs. But yeah. Somebody brought the movie up the other day, and they didn't mention the fact that it was postponed by 9/11. I was like, say it.
Yeah, because I was thinking about 9/11 in media, like movies and TV shows and stuff, where it's a lot like the pandemic, where like it's this huge thing that happened. And if you watch any of the TV like sitcoms and movies from back then, like nobody's acknowledging that this crazy thing has happened. We're just trying not to talk about it. And then years later, you can have people referring to how that was a thing that happened. But like, it's weird that like there's like a period of time where we all knew that it happened, but we weren't talking about it in media. And like we're seeing the same things in like TVs and movies now, that stuff keeps coming out and nobody's wearing a mask or pretend everyone's acting like, hey, we made this movie during a pandemic. We're not going to talk about how there's a pandemic going on. So like in 20 years from now, they're going to look back, what's going on? Nobody cared about that COVID-19 thing, I guess. It's weird. But in a couple of years, everyone will be talking about how they lived through it.
I hope they mentioned it in the what do you call the Sharknado movies, because I believe in one of those movies I never really seen them, but I've heard the how did this get made breakdown of them, and I think there was one where they would not stop talking about New York. They're just like, we're from New York. We're from New York. Like, it's like, that's what New Yorkers do. We survive. We're from New York. Like, they just would not shut up about it. So I was like, we're like 9/11. We came back from that. We can overcome the Sharknado too. I think my favorite 9/11 story though is how God, I selfishly hope you haven't heard the story, because you're gonna love it if you've never heard it.
How?
So there was a movie being filmed on like during that time, and there's like a scene they were shooting on 9/11, and it's one of the dumbest fucking scenes in movie history. And so they're shooting the scene. It's in the movie Master of Disguise. And it's a scene where Dana Carvey is like a turtle.
Right. Okay. Yeah. It's like the only thing I remember about that movie. Yeah.
It's like turtle. So they're filming that scene on 9/11, okay? And then 9/11 happens.
Right.
And the crew has a meeting with the actors
Yeah.
and everybody. And they all say like a prayer.
Are they in
for
New York when
9/11.
this happened? Or like in Canada? Or something?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't
Okay.
remember that part. I hope they were because it makes
Right.
it better.
But probably
So
not.
they
'Cause
have
they
like a,
probably would. That's something that would you probably have to evacuate if you're in New York at the
yeah,
time.
they probably
Yeah.
would have. They probably would have been sent home, I would think. But,
Yeah.
So they're having like this little somber meeting and like talking about thoughts and prayers, and then they're like, the show must go on, master of disguise, and they continue filming. They filmed it. They
Yeah,
filmed
they got
the
it done, and
entire scene.
they gave it to the world. They gave it to America. We needed it.
I
Yeah, I mean that's
believe I
what.
got that from How Does This Get Made? Also,
Right.
I think it's the story.
I need to watch that movie. As much as people say it's terrible, I just need to see it. I didn't figure what's going on with that.
I do love Dana Carvey so much that I owe it to him to at least watch it once.
Yeah.
But God, that turtle! I've seen the turtle scene, and it's woof, woof.
Yeah, woof. Speaking of dogs and turtles, the SPCA helps animals. Donate. There's the link right there. Look, just scroll down a little bit, you'll see the link. Click on it and donate to those people. But yeah, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, 9/11. It was weird. It's like even when I like that we're talking about 9/11 all throughout our cats interview tonight.
Cats, it's
Yeah,
a lot
it's
of
the
people think
9/11
Cats is a
of
disaster.
musicals. Yeah. So, like I was in high school when it happened, and I was in a math class. The teacher got a phone call, and she was like, okay, okay," and then hung up the phone and just went back to the lesson. And I didn't realize till the next class I went to after that one was over, where my teacher was crying because she had family in New York and the TV was on and like the towers were on fire. Like, oh, something really serious is happening right now. My math teacher didn't feel like saying anything to us about it. So that was, it's weird how people react to different, these situations. You don't really know what to do. It's like there's no precedent for it or anything, and it's not something that's affecting you if you're in a high school in the middle of North Carolina. What are you going to do?
Yeah, it's kind of heartbreaking that like he was sad, but he didn't want to make you guys sad.
I guess I feel like it was more like this is what the math teacher is like. She just like she didn't know what to do with that information, and like she had stuff to.
She.
Yeah, it was a she. Yeah, I thought I would talk to you about my pre-calculus.
Wait a minute,
before Johnny Sparkles.
Wait a minute, the woman's a doctor. The teacher's a lady. What's going on here?
Man, she was teaching math. Hold on, no.
Yeah,
I think she had a lesson she wanted to get through for the day, and that's what she did. Giving us that information was going to teach us about right triangles or anything.
That day was a disaster. A woman was talking numbers. Sorry. So you were saying something before I interrupted you with nonsense.
Oh yeah, no, just that these weird historic things happen, and you don't really know how you're going to react to it, and how you react seems really weird at the time afterwards. But otherwise, it's like it could have been in any other sort of weird news of things that have happened. It's like a big thing, but nothing you don't think is something that's going to affect your life forever. Like if you hear about a big storm or something hitting somewhere else, it's like that sucks, but it's not something we're going to be thinking about 20 years later.
Yeah, well, I'm like this. It's like it sucks because the more just completely horrific things happen, the less things like tornadoes and stuff like Matt. It's just like oh, another tornado in Kansas. Like it's horrible, but it's like we're desensitized to especially to things like that because we've seen such worse things.
Yeah.
We have to measure. It's like I don't want to waste all my grief on this because I'm sure there's something much worse around the corner.
Yeah, exactly. And then when you put in that situation of like, oh, I mean, give me this information while I'm in the middle of teaching these kids, what am I supposed to do with it? And does this matter that much more than any of these other things? It's really weird. But yeah, if you're watching, let us know in the comments where you were when you found out about 9/11. I'm curious. That's always a fun story or a fun thing to learn about people. Interesting thing. I don't know if it's fun.
I wonder if there was a hipster kid in Portland that was just like, man, 9/11. it sucks, but what do you
Yeah.
do? Hmm.
Somebody was there during the bombing of the World Trade Centers in like whatever 98 or whatever. Like, nah, I've already seen it. I was there
Yeah, I
the
was
first.
at the first one.
Eh.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah. So,
uh,
you like musicals
I have
or do you like
notes.
ice figure skating? What are your notes? Yeah.
I have more notes on Cats on Ice. I
Yeah.
do like musical. Were you asking me if I like musicals?
Yeah.
I do like musicals. I need to watch more because I
Mm.
feel like I still haven't seen a lot of the famous ones.
All
But
right.
as a kid, I loved Yankee Doodle Dandy. For some reason, I used to watch Yankee Doodle Dandy like
Wow.
all the time. I don't know why there's not a full musical for Willy Wonka. I feel
Mm.
like that's like there's some songs in it, but I want to see like a full blown
Right.
musical on ice. What they should do is Breaking Bad on ice because it'd be like everyone like
Yeah.
ice, ice, ice. But this is like a this is like a thing. I feel like this is a hipster thing to say, but I do believe South Park: Bigger, Longer, Uncut is one of the best musicals.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
that's a good one. Well, those guys just make good musicals. Like I know everyone talks about Book
yeah,
of
yeah.
Mormon, but Cannibal the
I
musical
haven't
is great.
seen
Yeah.
I haven't seen Book of Mormon.
Yeah, me neither.
I'm
It's fine.
hoping they put that on like they do like a movie where like they film or
Hmm.
I'm sure they filmed it at some point. I hope they put that on
Yeah, it's got to be out
TV
there
somewhere at
somewhere.
some point.
Yeah.
I guarantee you they're gonna make a movie at some point for that.
Yeah, they have to.
Did you hear what was their they have like their deal with Paramount Plus is like insane. It's like
Well,
I think it was like $800 million and they have like 14 films in the works.
wow, that's
It's
crazy.
like yeah, when I read it, it was one of those I kept having to look like I was like, holy, like they own the guys from South Park like own Hollywood now.
Right.
It's
Well, good for them.
and it's
I
just
like this shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's great because no matter if you like or hate the show, it's just funny
Right.
how many like old uptight people were like, this is it's gonna break our country apart. All this nonsense, all this crude language, and
Yeah.
um,
And
so
go
I'm
back to this, like first
here.
season South Park stuff, and it's very, very tame compared to everything else that's out
Oh
now.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's almost like Simpsons, like just
Yeah.
regular, it's like watching a Simpsons episode or something.
Yeah, it's
Like
something.
this is it.
Now that you mentioned The Simpsons, something I've been thinking about lately. It's like I'm curious, but I don't actually want to do any of the work to figure this out. But I'm curious about people that were born between like I don't know, like 1978 and 1990 or something, like in that kind of age range where like people that were really influenced by The Simpsons, like people whose parents wouldn't let them watch The Simpsons because they were like bad influences or whatever, like Bart Simpson. But then those people that still grew up and got into comedy, like how do you get a sense of humor in that time period without it coming from The Simpsons? I want to know who those people are and what they've done. You know what I mean?
I
So
think
those people
yeah. I
exist,
mean,
but I don't know what. It's curious to me how that happened. I
well,
don't want to interview people and figure it out, but I want someone to do that.
I think you have to do a documentary.
Yeah.
I think you should instead of not doing anything. I think you're gonna do a documentary about it. I think well, first of all, you reminded me that there was a time when Bart Simpson was considered like
Yeah.
that. Bart Simpson, man, watch out for like if your kid was
Oh,
wearing a Bart Simpson shirt, your people, oh, like
he's
what's
a
wrong with
bad
that
parent.
kid?
Yeah.
But now it's like so yeah, so tame in comparison. I think one way to look at it is at the time. I would say at that time it was a strange time for comedy because you still had room for like I think like Jay Leno,
Right.
David Letterman, and Arsenio Hall were all pretty popular
Yeah.
with a certain demographic. So like there might have been like maybe a clean comic was just like love the Tonight Show exclusively
Yeah.
and stuff
It's
like
gotta be.
that, more wholesome
Yeah.
stuff that your parents would let you watch.
Right. So I feel like if you're not allowed to watch The Simpsons, you're also not allowed to stay up late enough to watch like The Late Show.
Sure, yeah, that's
But yeah,
true
but
too.
that's definitely a type of person. So I don't know. Yeah.
I wonder, like, who was the? See, it was weird too because I don't even think. I think nowadays actually there's more. As much as the big comedy boom happened in the '80s, I think as
Right.
far as like I think as far as having like super clean comics on TV, there's actually more now because
Mm,
I feel like people are afraid to put like the
yeah.
non-clean comics on. So
Right.
you might actually see more now, especially with like Comedy Central. Even Comedy Central started
Really.
showing
Huh.
showing mostly movies now, but
Yeah.
when they were showing comedy, it was a lot of Kevin Hart and Brian Regan and stuff, which is great. But it's like
Yeah.
if you're only watching clean stuff. But I think back then, like even the guys that were like big on the late shows were like not clean comics, like
Right.
Rodney Dangerfield, Sam Kinison, Andrew Dice Clay, like those guys were like really popular. George Carlin was popular, Richard Pryor, and like they were
Right.
like dirty comics. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's like where does the sensibility come from if you weren't part of the indie funny stuff and you weren't staying up to watch talk shows, what the hell were you getting your comedy
Right.
from? Like talk radio,
Yeah. I think you're just
like
watching like
Bob
stuff
and
on
Bob and Tom.
like the Disney Channel or something, and then how are you learning what's funny from that enough that you're like, I'm gonna pursue comedy as the important part of my life. But the only comedy I
Maybe,
know is yeah, like what I've heard at church or something, you know?
but maybe that's why like those Nickelodeon comedies keep happening. Like just like a cycle of people that can only watch that, and then they just produce more of them.
Right. Yeah. It's like a
But like there's weird. It's weird because sometimes the producers of those shows will have like a comedian on that's not known as like a clean comic, and you're like,
right.
how does that guy know cool stuff, and why can't he do everything cool?
Yeah.
Why does everything else he does suck so bad? But I mean, I'm sure they're just trying to make money.
Yeah. Because you think about kind of
Um,
like how Bob Saget was on Full House for so long, and that was just like a super wholesome family sitcom, but he was very much not that kind of a comic. But when he was on the show,
yeah,
when he was hosting America's Funniest Home Videos, he was that guy. But then that's not who he was when he was able to make the decisions. But when it was time to make the paycheck, he could play that character.
that's funny because
Yeah.
the irony of that is there's a comedian out there who got into stand-up comedy because he loved Full House
Right.
and didn't know about Saget was a comedian, but Dave
Right.
Coulier. Oh,
Mm.
that Dave Coulier.
See, I think
Like I
that's
gotta
what
be
it
the
is.
I gotta be the next I gotta be the next Coulier. I gotta cut it out. Gotta, I
That's
think I
just
was in
one.
the I think I did too legit to quit.
Right. I think it's more of an up, but
Cut
yeah.
it. I don't know. But,
And then
that's weird how hammer in.
yeah. You when you're going
Legit
down on a
money.
woman, you're supposed to do the ABCs with your mouth, but if you're finger banging her, you're supposed to do the cut it out, followed by the too
Yeah.
legit.
Well, I was going down on a cop one time, and she made me do the ABCs backwards. And I said,
Just to prove you weren't drunk.
then I had to. She made me walk a straight line to the bathroom and cuff my penis. Uh, Put a condom.
Yeah.
David, it must suck to go from Olympic level skating
Right.
to the 17th tier of entertainment. Like, those are some good skaters in there, and I'm like,
Yeah.
imagine one week you're training for the Olympics, the highest level
Right.
of ice skating, and then the next week you're doing the 17th tier of it's like below juggling.
Yeah. You're looking around and half of the
Like
castmates are children and you're just playing along to a CD of someone else singing cat songs. But yeah, I'm hoping that these are all, like all students at the school. So they're on their way towards the Olympics as opposed to coming back down from the Olympics. This is
right.
this is a good start for these kids, I think. I don't think it's a bad start.
It can only get better. It can
Yeah,
only go up. No, it is.
it was sweet at the end. It was sweet at the end when they they did their curtain call and came out and their bows and everything, and then they skated over to their parents and got their flowers, and they were
Yeah.
hugging each other, and like that was nice. I was like, oh yeah, that's right. It feels good to go through something like that, and like a production of that kind, and like to share that that moment at the end is fun.
Yeah.
I miss doing stuff with people in that way. It's been so long
Yeah.
since any kind of performance.
I was just gonna say that I miss the innocence of going to like a little league baseball game, or like watching a friend of mine in a karate tournament, or
Nice.
going to watch somebody do like a school play, and like going to another school to watch your buddy like play in
Yeah.
Greece or something like like there's no, like, once you're an adult, like we're like so jaded, we don't celebrate each other anymore. We're just like I don't know, it's weird as a performer, like, because like other performers don't always tell you if you did well, but there's times when you there's times when you're like, if there was a crowd here, it would carry me out on their shoulders right now. And then nobody says anything.
Right.
There's usually an audience member that will tell you like that you were their favorite or something. Thank God for those people, because because you want to talk about what I'm committing to in 2022. I'm committing to suicide. No, just kidding.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, there was a sweet. The only thing is, though, I feel like there was a couple of dads in the crowd that thought it was over like 3 times, because there was a couple of scenes where they like all held hands.
Yeah.
I'm like, this looks like the end, and then they're coming out again.
Yeah, I have no sympathy for those people that thought it was over after 20 minutes when I've had to watch 2-hour long Cats videos all week. That I forced myself to do this, but yeah, no pity for those.
Still, yeah,
dads.
You didn't complain. I didn't hear you complaining.
Yeah.
So since you've seen all these cats, you can answer this question for me, because I didn't know this. Or, I mean, I don't know. Did For He's a Jolly Good Fellow come from Cats?
Yes. So that's the earliest known. Yeah, the earliest I've ever heard of it was from the show came out in the 80s originally. So yeah, I can't think of anyone using it before that.
I mean, I'm older than you, and I feel like I've heard it my entire life. but it's possible it started with Cats, because the Cats came out in the very early 80s, right? And that was about the time I started remembering things.
Yeah, so it might have just been right then. It might have happened 6 months before the first time you heard it. You just thought it was a thing that always existed.
But was it She's in Cats?
Yeah, because they're talking about Jenny Anydots, the Gumby cat.
So it's another thing that men have taken.
It's supposed to be jolly good fella. It's supposed to be for an orange female cat, and they turned it into something mostly for old white cisgendered men, I assume.
So when I worked at Panera Bread, one of the many ways I would annoy my coworkers is because I hated my job very much. So you have to find ways to make the monotony go away, and one of my ways to do that while annoying my coworkers was anytime somebody ordered a 4-cheese souffle, I would sing 4 cheese, a jolly good souffle. 4 cheese, a jolly good souffle. 4 cheese, a jolly good souffle. Yeah, every time. I don't think I ever did not do that.
I want to make you the CEO.
I don't care how old this joke is. I'm going to do it every time.
That's great. And he was like, "Oh, that's from Cats. I recognize that song."
You like Cats? And that's how I met my first wife. There was a couple of times during that performance too where where somebody would just randomly skate by real quick. And I'm
Right.
like, is that the end of this Harold? Is this a Harold? What is it?
It's doing a sweep at it.
Yeah. Was that I'm trying to pull a cool improv. Was that Garrett? Was that Garrett Holes? Was just is that Brit?
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, I hope he's doing good wherever he is.
yeah, I really like that guy.
Yeah,
He's,
he's a funny guy.
sweet man.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, that's a weird thing about this one is that there were a few times like there's songs like what's his name? Skimbleshanks, the Railway Cat. They did his song, but then nobody was actually like portraying him in the thing. It was just like a big
Yeah.
group thing, and then like, oh, okay,
Right.
that's cool. So they're just doing these skating dance numbers to these songs, but they're not necessarily trying to embody the song in any way. They're just using it the same way you would just use any random song and just skate along to it, I guess. In a
but it's hard. It's hard to
Pageant.
tell with the wide shot. Who,
Yeah.
Even if there was
Yeah.
somebody being showcased, with the wide shot, you're like, I don't know who the.
yeah, because the camera's not following them. There's no spotlight or anything. Yeah, so it's hard to tell.
Maybe so I don't know if they were like lip syncing or if they were doing anything. If they were just, I don't know. You know what they kind of look like from afar, like especially like on the real wide shots, they just look like mimes with tails.
Yeah, it's true. There's a lot of
Just
black
bunch
and white.
mimes with tails. Yeah. Or maybe like Kiss on Ice, like the band Kiss.
Yeah.
Which now I want
I'd
to
watch
see.
that.
I want to see Kiss on Ice. So have you heard about how basically Gene Simmons has said Kiss is gonna go forever, and he's just gonna get
No.
new people to? Yeah,
I didn't know they were
and-
still
and-
going now.
Yeah, like I think they just performed their last show, but they've done that many times.
Mhm.
But Gene Simmons has said multiple times that he intends, if he has anything to say about it, they're going to continue on as a band, but they're going to have like different people playing the parts.
Right.
So I don't know if they're going to record new
mean-
music or if they're just going to keep playing Kiss songs. But
Right.
did I ever show you that that Kiss miniature golf course they used to live right next to in Vegas?
No.
Weird. Yeah, it was like literally they moved it. They moved it later, but when I first moved there, right next to me, there was a Kiss miniature golf course, and you ever heard of that band Mini Kiss?
Oh yeah. It's like on all little people cover band.
Yeah, it pissed me off that they didn't work there.
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
If there's a Kiss miniature golf course, I want to see Mini Kiss like playing live. And the best part about it though is they had a Volkswagen Bug parked outside, and it was painted to look like Gene Simmons. Okay? And the hood of the car was a tongue, and it said, "There's a sign on it that said, 'Please do not sit on tongue.'" And I was like, "That's something that Gene Simmons has never said."
Yeah.
Like Gene Simmons is like, "You better sit on that tongue."
That's why I have it.
Hey baby, I want to put my tongue out, and you want to sit on it.
Yeah.
I'm Dr. Love. Here's
Yeah.
one last note I had.
Right.
Why not make the whole musical just one long version of Memory?
Yeah, it's really the only thing anybody, ironically, remembers about the
Yeah.
show. It's the only breakout song from the show that anyone's heard of, outside of Saying Cats, because it's the only song that's actually like about like a character and how they feel and what they kind of want or anything. Every other song in the
Yeah.
show is just, hey, look at this cat. He lives on a train. This cat here, he's fat and
Right.
rich. Yeah. And this is like the
Describing
only
the
time.
cat. Describing the cat.
Yeah.
Describing this cat. Describing that cat.
There's another one. Yeah.
Uh,
And then that's the one time a
and-
cat is like, hey, this is what's important to me, or my memories of how things used to be, or whatever.
This
And that's a
song's
song-
about me because I'm a selfish prick.
Yeah.
This song's about-
Like feelings. Yeah. It's really, the only song that anybody knows about it. And that's in the Russian parody version of this that we watched. That was the only kind of touchstone of cats that they had, and everything else they just made up.
Wait, there was a parody of was it like super campy? Like,
Yeah, and also super like low budget, like almost public access style. And it kind of looked at the show, and it's like like a series that went on for like 8 years, where it's like a weekly or monthly, almost a sketch show where they did different things every time. So like the one time, all right, we're gonna do cats, and all we know about cats is the there was a musical and Cats was in it, and that song and everything else was just, I mean, it was all in Russian. We couldn't really tell what was going on, but it's really hard, and it was definitely hard to figure out what was going on. And I'm sure the audience was loving it. Yeah. And Shaka Cthulhu on Twitch says it was super. What the fuck is happening? Yeah, it sure was.
Could you tell, being that they were speaking a different language, like if you would think it was funny if you knew what they were saying, or was it like over the top? Like, because there's a lot of foreign stuff that's people are laughing, but it's for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, no, because it was like a general audience. It was like families and stuff. So I think they all were just legitimately enjoying what was happening. So it's Chad. Chad is Shaka Cthulhu on Twitch. So thank you for watching, Chad.
So they seemed like decent performers. Like they weren't like
they were a bunch of like middle-aged comedians, like doing like a So I think normally they do like sketches about the president or whatever.
Yeah.
Or like what it's like at the supermarket. Yeah.
Yeah. They don't do any Putin sketches.
Yeah, they weren't doing Putin sketches.
Hi, Chad. I miss you, Chad. In Soviet Russia, sketch do you. In Soviet Russia, whose line is it anyway? It's not your line. It's the president's line. Yeah. Only it's Putin's line anyway. Do you know that Yakov Smirnoff is like an anti-vaxxer, like redneck now? Did you hear about that?
Something about that, yeah. I mean, not necessarily the anti-vaxxing thing, but definitely he's
well, because he basically runs shit in Branson now.
Right,
he's like one of the kings of Branson, so he just hangs out there, and like, they don't give a shit about like masks or vaccines over there. So he said something dumb in the middle of the pandemic about how people were overreacting, and like this is like back in the in the nitty gritty when things were really bad. And it sucked because he was just someone. He was on Never Not Funny, one of my favorite podcasts. Like just before that, he seemed like a cool guy, except for the part where he was defending the new Aladdin, like suspiciously. It's like, it is a beautiful movie. You don't understand. Because only one person had seen it on the show, and he thought it sucked, and Yakov was shocked. It's like, oh, it's the most precious. Your children will learn so many things from it.
That's a weird taste.
Like in Soviet Russia, genie not even alive. Like you're a lantern. Yeah. The genie come out with a rope around his neck. Come on, David. You do one.
Well, I just wanted to throw real quick. Chad also says, "Whose line is it? It is bread line." And he says, "Merry Christmas, Johnny."
Hey, it was bread line anyway.
And then
we have improv show in Russia. It's called "Whose Bread Line Is It?" Anyway. Nobody laugh. Everybody cry. You do one, Dave. You do one. You dance like a monkey.
Yeah. Oh God. Trying to think. I can't think of any specifics from Aladdin.
Do one about cats.
Cats. In Soviet Russia. Stop. Kidding.
In Soviet Russia, there's no jellicle cats. There's only icicle cats.
Yes. Cats is in Soviet Russia. In Soviet Russia, blue man.
Cat die. In Soviet Russia, all cat dead.
No.
In Soviet Russia, memory. The song "Memory" is what you sing before you kill yourself.
Yeah, I know I have too many things about cats in my head now. I can't pick one. I'm just gonna grab one and then use it. I'm so.
How about a Star Is Born? I don't know why that, but
in Soviet Russia, Lady Gaga, you.
In Soviet Russia, all ladies gaga because they're like babies because they cry
Yeah,
because they're all
babushkas.
very poor. Yes, you're all wearing babushka. They call me gaga because I cry like baby because I have no money. In Soviet Russia, Good Times, the TV show Good Times was most inspiring TV show ever.
It was
One
really
day
good
we'd be that
times.
rich. Yes. One day my life will be that dynamite. I feel like I'm doing part Yakov Smirnoff, part Borat, or
Yeah,
part
it, it's a
like
hard
my
accent
life.
to nail down.
I remember a way I used to annoy you, David.
Yeah,
I think I did it. I think one night I kept doing this to you. I kept doing Borat Cosby.
right. Fun.
I kept going, my wife, come here. Which I want to do in my stand-up, except there's no way to like do it other than saying like, here's Borat transitioning to Bill Cosby.
Yeah, that's all you have to
But
do.
I used to also do the Worthy Cause, which was
Yeah,
Jeff
that's a good
Foxworthy
one.
slowly going into Bill Cosby. If you've
Yeah.
ever walked into your house and Theo was eating your hoagie, you might be.
My chat also says in Soviet Russia, a show was called Good Time, just the one time.
Hey, Chad's on fire.
Yeah.
I love you, Chad. Uh, I know this is never going to happen, but I'll say
Mm,
it again. I really wish both of you guys would do comedy with me.
yeah.
And baby, come back.
It is easier when you're typing and not on camera. But yeah, I mean, I'm thinking like if I make the decision to, like I said, do some sort of creative project rather than learn all about crypto, then I would start going to open mics again, probably. Since I'm right down around the corner from Ann O'Brien's, it wouldn't be hard to do. I thought they're doing open mics again. So maybe, or maybe I'll be super rich in a year because I got into crypto and I have a ton of Bitcoins in my digital pocket.
All I want is one Bitcoin, David. If you become filthy rich,
Yeah.
just one. It's like 50.
It's worth
What is that?
tens of thousands of
50,000?
dollars or something. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Chad also says he doesn't
And
particularly want to do comedy again, but he would definitely want to sit around at a restaurant running a bit into the ground. Yeah, that would be fun. I mean, that's
yeah.
really that's a big part of doing comedy is just especially at open mics, but we're really just hanging out with our friends, fucking around more than anything else. And that's the best part of it, isn't it? Unless you have the option of getting
It's
paid, but most of us
in
don't.
Soviet Russia, no open mic, only closed mic, all mic closed. Nobody open. Yeah. In Soviet Russia, it's Soviet Russia one man show only because other four guys got murdered. Was supposed to be a 5-man show, but only one guy survived.
Yeah.
In Soviet Russia, 2 drink minimum is actually 2 drink maximum because they don't have enough drink for you. In Soviet Russia, the Sandman is the guy that's actually headliner. He's not the one that. Oh, you know what I'm doing? I'm doing fucking Tommy Wiseau. I'm doing Yakov Smirnoff, Borat, Tommy Wiseau.
Hey, it's a yeah. Your accent's
I did
slowly
not.
moving westward from Russia, very
In
slowly.
Soviet Russia, I did not hit her in Soviet Russia either. I did not. My wife. I did not hit my wife. Camille. I think we should do a show where it's like you, me, and Chad, and we're like we tell everybody we have this big thing planned, and we're headlining the show, and then it's just us talking about stuff like this, like on stage, just
Yeah.
like, and then like imagine if this happened, and then somebody's like, yeah, like
Do a little bit of it, yeah. And everyone wants their money back. Be fun.
In Soviet Russia, Mambo didn't reach number 5. Only Mambo number 1, and then the government shut down. Monica was killed. All the
Kara
other
says,
girls.
in Soviet the room. Oh, hi, open mic.
Fucking Chad.
That's the
This guy
best.
doesn't want to do comedy anymore. But that was a freaking. I get paid to write jokes, and that was the best joke. That was the best joke of the night, and he's not doing it. Hi, open mic. Holy fuck. That's so good. My wife, I did not hit her. No, but seriously, take my wife. I did not take. Take my wife, please.
Yeah, take my wife, please.
Oh, I could do that. I could do a take my wife, please. No, seriously, take her. Take my wife. Come here. I actually did Cosby on stage like a couple weeks ago because
Really?
I just accidentally started. I was doing something and then I did a Cosby for a second, and then I was like, that is
That's
the worst
fun.
part about that whole situation is that I can't do Cosby impression. That's the
Wait,
worst.
no.
Oh no, did you drop your Mountain Dew?
Yeah, I did. It's fine.
Uh,
It was mostly empty. It's just a couple of drops. Everything's fine. Continue about your Cosby story.
In Soviet Russia, mountain no more dew. Mountain
Nothing
mountain fire.
Yeah.
Mountain dew. Mountain on fire. Baja Blast. In Soviet Russia, Baja Blast is when you drink Mountain Dew and somebody plant a bomb in cans. So I don't remember what I was doing, but I just started doing, because like my last I do like a lot of improv now, so I would say like I do like maybe no more than 51% material, 49%
Okay,
me
cool.
acting a fool up there. So I was doing something, and then I did Cosby for a second, and I'm like, I was like, yeah, we can't do that anymore. I'm like, that's the worst thing about that situation is that we can't do Cosby impressions anymore. That whole situation, but the worst part is we can't do impressions.
That's how it affects you. That's the worst thing to do.
Right. No, I think one person said like, do it, and I was like, I'm not going to pander to you, and then of course I'm not going to pander to the audience. So I did that for. Then I think I did a couple other jokes, and then if one didn't work, I'd be like, well, what if Bill Cosby said that? But like, you know who was very inspiring to me, which is odd because I never think of him as like a favorite comedian, but there's a masterclass in comedy that you need to watch if you haven't seen it. It's Gilbert Gottfried live at the gathering of the Juggalos.
That's just something I would definitely want to see.
He like spends half of the time just playing the crowd like a fiddle because they love him so much that he basically can do or say anything. And so they're like chanting shit at him, like they're chanting like smoke that bong, and then he'll be like, only if you chant like fuck like fuck Jay Leno or something, he'll just make them say something, and then they'll be like fuck Jay Leno or something. Dude, at one, I'm not kidding, I'm gonna talk to Chad like he's here too. Chad, David, at one point he spends 5 minutes going, and then before Jay Leno, it's like, before Jay Leno, the host of the show was Johnny Carson. Fuck Johnny Carson. Fuck so. All he's doing is fucking saying shit, knowing the crowd will chant it. And then he's like, and then watching him, he's fucking laughing because he can't. He's like, this is stupid. He knows how dumb it is. They stop laughing. He's like, and before Johnny Carson, there was a guy named Jack Parr. Fuck Jack Parr. Fuck Jack Parr. Goes all the way back to Steve Allen. Then at one point he's just doing every joke. He's reading dirty. At one point, he's just reading selections from his dirty joke book, which is a great choice for the
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Juggalos because they're the most gruesome, horrible sex jokes.
Yeah.
And
They're not people known for having good taste.
at one point after each one, he's doing Jerry Seinfeld doing that last joke. Now, pussy is my favorite thing to eat. Like what he just does. Oh, I don't know if I think you would. I think you would also enjoy Bobcat Goldthwait and Dana Gould put out a documentary of them just traveling and doing comedy.
Right.
And
Cool.
Bobcat tells his story about how Jerry Seinfeld hates his guts, and Jerry Seinfeld on Comedians and Cars Getting Coffees with Bridget Everett. Bridget Everett's like really good friends with Bobcat, so of course Seinfeld wastes her time by talking shit about Bobcat Goldthwait for like 5 minutes. So uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But in Soviet Russia, comedians don't have car or coffee. I did not hit her.
Or even comedy. Channel says, in Soviet Russia, mountain don't, or secret police will find you.
That was a little hack.
I flubbed the delivery on that one. I dropped my accent.
I'm only saying
2 words in.
I'm only saying that because the open mic one was so perfect. I will make fun of you for mountain don't. I don't not hit mountain. I do not hit mountain. So James Franco, I think, is like worse than is more frowned upon in Hollywood than Tommy Wiseau now. I think he's been canceled.
I heard something about it, but I didn't hear exactly why. But I can look at the guy and go, yeah, I can see how he probably did something that would get him canceled.
I think he did weird stuff with a bunch of underage women, but mostly like this. I think mostly like creepy texts and stuff from what I can gather, but I don't really know. But yeah. I enjoyed his acting, but I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised because I remember Martin Starr saying of everybody from Freaks and Geeks, like whenever he gets together with the old gang, like James Franco's the only one that's weird and acts like he doesn't like know him.
Right.
Literally everybody else super cool. And
yeah.
James is a little weird, like he doesn't really acts like he barely knows me. So and Martin Starr is not the type of guy he's not like Martin Starr is not like I'm gonna get him. Like,
no.
Martin Starr is the most like non-Hollywood guy there is. So for him that was a red flag for me when he's like, yeah, I get along with everybody except for some reason Franco kind of just treats me weird.
Yeah, weird vibes. He probably would treat him better if Martin Starr was a little boy.
But not enough of that. I know Freaks and Geeks is like considered by many to be like, I mean, it was a highly acclaimed show, but the fact that so many of those people are still working are like among the Hollywood elite now is pretty insane.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, I don't know why the show didn't last, but other than people not watching it, but
yeah, that was a big thing.
Like
I mean, as a show,
how did you not know those people were going to be?
Yeah.
Like, they're all stars now.
Yeah, and I feel like that show would have worked really well as like a Netflix show or something where you can kind of watch them all together. But if that was like a prime time, like Tuesday night or whatever show, like I don't know if that's something that I would have watched every week.
Well, when they were showing it for a while, I don't remember the whole run because I think that was at a time in my life when I was really busy or something. I remember having to watch it on demand or I forget how, but
right.
They were showing it like on Saturday nights for a while, for at least a few weeks.
Right.
Remember when they used to do that for a while? They had like really good shows like on Saturday night. I think Golden Girls started off like on Saturday nights. I don't know why I can't say the word Saturday. But,
right.
Yeah, they used to show They used to show like really good shows. I mean, so obviously they didn't know certain shows were going to be good, but it's hard to get a show into a rhythm like that. That's on a Saturday night where it's catered to like younger people and they're
Right.
probably not home.
Yeah, and it's a serious show. It wasn't. Well, it was funny, but like there was a lot more serious stuff. So it wasn't a light show to watch. It was something you kind of have to like get into.
Yeah.
So it's weird to like watch it, a couple of episodes here and there on a Saturday night. And like, yeah, it wouldn't have clicked with me. Like I did watch it on the internet eventually, like all the way through, and like it worked as a show that way. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have grabbed my attention as a teenager, as a weekly show. Like
In Soviet Russia, no, anyone who don't do homework is freak. All freak, no geek.
Yeah, so very Russia geek freaks you.
Those Greeks are freaky.
Yeah. All right. Yes, everybody still watching.
Is this the last? Is this the last Cats? Is this the last Cats thing?
Yeah, it's the last night of Cats Miss this year. So
I mean, is there another show after me, or
no? This is it.
no?
Yeah, we're all done. Once we sign off here, you and I will never have to think about Cats ever again, unless I do it again next year. I don't know. Also, 2023 Cats is coming. Hawaii or Broadway in Hawaii is bringing Cats out here in 2023.
Whoa.
So I would like to. Last night I mentioned this to Rory, and my wife was walking by, and I was saying, I would like to treat everyone that's been part of the 12 Days of Catsmas to come out and watch Cats live at the Blaisdell when it's time. And my wife like face palmed, ugh. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do in 2023 for anyone who's still.
I mean, here. I'm down if it turns out you don't want to spend $100 per ticket or whatever ridiculous price they have. I'm not going to get mad at you, but if you still want to do it, and I'm here.
Yeah.
And
assuming that we're allowed to go to live events, they're not on the 15th version of COVID by then. Yeah.
We're all Jellicle cats. Dave.
Yeah, we are. All cats are Jellicle cats, and we're cats and Jellicle cats, therefore. Yeah.
Or as the old Fernando Pacheco joke goes, I went to watch Cats and I was mad because not one of them were black guys playing trumpets.
But black guys do. I hate to stereotype. I hate to stereotype. But black guys play the best rum tugger I found. It was the sexiest cat. The cat's always like really tips around and everything, and like the most confident, like. The actors who are the best at like being like a confident, sexy guy who's wiggling his hips at everybody have all been black actors. Just saying.
Why do they have that name? It's the gayest name of all the cats. It sounds like a guy that gives handjobs to other cats.
Tugger, it's right there in the name.
In Soviet Russia, Rum Tum Tug, Tugger Rum. In Soviet Russia, Rum Tum Tugger drink vodka, tug everybody. I don't know.
Yeah, no rum tum tugger, vodka tum tugger. So different. Chad says happy Catsmas to all until a good night.
In Soviet Russia, Rum Tum Tugger is vodka cocksucker. You just go straight to the vodka cocksucker, vodka cocksucker.
All right.
I was going to tell you something else, but I was going to ask you something
else. All right. Well, if we think about that while I just thank everyone for watching and participating through the 12 Days of Catsmas and making your donations to all the great charities. I think next year I'm probably just going to pick one charity instead of trying to switch back and forth between multiple ones. It just made things complicated. So let me know what your favorite charities are, and next year we'll figure out something better way of doing that. But thank you guys for watching and donating for that stuff. I want to thank everyone that's been part of these live streams, hoping to do more of this kind of stuff. And Johnny Sparkles, do you have any closing thoughts, questions? What else you got to talk about? Anything to plug?
Thank you for letting me be a part of this. I think I just heard a moped drive down your street. Thank God you waited until the end of the show. Because it sounds like we're back in AJ's living room.
We're really lucky. I hadn't had any fireworks go off yet tonight. Like last night, they started a few weeks ago, but yeah, last night we had a few.
Yeah.
I guess they're
There was
taking
a lot
Christmas
last
off.
night.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm sure they'll
there was
start
a
back
lot
up in a
last
couple
night.
hours.
Probably. Damn no gooders.
Yeah.
Fireworks. In Soviet Russia, fireworks means that the government burned down your house successfully.
Yeah, the fireworks. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching, donating, subscribing
Hey,
wherever you're
guys.
watching this would be great. And yeah, we'll see you guys sooner or later. We'll see you guys. Yeah. Keep watching. Keep staying catsy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right. Good night, everybody. And Chad says good singing. And he's right. It was good singing. All right. Good
I
night.
hope you all have a perfect new year.